JD Vance just sat down for a recent interview with CBS's Face the Nation. And can I just say, like, this man is well spoken, knows how to answer a question, knows exactly the right things to say and how to say them. Like, my man Donald Trump really picked a winner with this one. You know, not like that last one we had. What was it? Kamala? Yeah, that one. Trash. She was garbage. All right. But anyways, he sat down for this interview, and let's watch it.
Campaigned on lowering prices for consumers. We've seen all of these executive orders. Which one lowers prices?
We have done.
You see that shit? They try to, because there's no executive. I mean, you could probably make one up and say like this one regulates the price of these items, but there's no executive order you can really sign to lower prices right away. So this is the first, she tries to get him question like, oh, what are you gonna say to that?
A lot, and there have been a number of executive orders that have caused already jobs to start coming back into our country, which is a core part of lowering prices. More capital investment, more job creation in our economy is one of the things that's going to drive down prices for all consumers, but also raise wages so that people can afford to buy the things that they need. If you look at our slate of executive orders,
look at it. So they're not going to come down.
Prices are going to come down, but it's going to take a little bit of time, right? The president has been president for all of 5 days. I think that in those 5 days, he's accomplished more than Joe Biden did in 4 years. It's been an incredible breakneck pace of activity. We're going to work with Congress. We're, of course, going to have more executive orders, and we're going to try the way that you lower prices is that you encourage more capital investment into our country. And you ask specifically, what executive order is going to help lower prices? All of the stuff that we've done on energy, to explore more energy reserves, to develop more energy resources in the United States of America. One of the main drivers of increased prices under the Biden administration is that we had a massive increase in energy prices. Donald Trump has already taken multiple executive actions that are going to lower energy prices, and I do believe that means consumers are going to see lower prices at the pump and at the grocery store, but it's going to take a little bit of time. Rome wasn't built in a day, and while we've done a whole lot, we can't undo all of the damage of Joe Biden's presidency in 4 days.
Well, there are a lot of things that contributed to high.
He's 100% correct, though. Like, Joe Biden did nothing but increase our energy costs the second he got into office. What, he canceled that? What was it? The Keystone XL pipeline that he canceled? Right? That was the one? Or was that the one in Russia? No, the Nord Stream one was in Russia, right? Whatever one, I can look it up right now, but it's going to take a little bit of time, but I don't want to do that for you. But not only that, not only is the energy, saving things that Donald Trump is doing helping us, bro, the first thing he said, which is deporting all these illegal immigrants, how much money do you think that's going to save us yearly? Huh? I've seen reports that illegal immigration costs the United States over $100 million. No, sorry, 100 billion. Sorry, I forgot the B on there. $100 billion a year. So you take 17 million people that don't belong here out of our country, and I promise you, the federal government's gonna have more money because they're not subsidizing these people anymore. But let's go to the next part of the interview.
Let me ask you about another area that you campaigned on quite a lot, and there was a flurry of activity on, and that has to do with immigration.
Sure.
The U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops this week condemned some of the executive orders signed by President Trump, specifically those allowing immigration and customs enforcement to enter churches and to enter schools. Do you personally support the idea of conducting a raid or enforcement action in a church service, at a school?
Well, let me address this. Of course, if you have a
I just want to say, they always try to frame it like a church or a school. They try to frame it, like we're going after children or, God-fearing people. No, they're going after illegal immigrants, which means that you are in this country illegally. I understand, like, they could be your neighbor. They could be friendly as hell. That doesn't change the fact that they entered this country illegally and are now here illegally.
Let me address this. Of course, if you have a person who is convicted of a violent crime, whether they're an illegal immigrant or a non-illegal immigrant, you have to go and get that person to protect the public safety. That's not unique to immigration. But let me just address this particular issue, Margaret, because as a practicing Catholic, I was actually heartbroken by that statement. And I think that the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops needs to actually look in the mirror a little bit and recognize that when they receive over $100 million to help resettle
Worried
illegal
about that
immigrants,
money.
are they worried about humanitarian concerns, or are they actually worried about their bottom line? We are going to enforce immigration law. We're going to protect the American people.
Yeah.
Donald Trump promised to do that. And I believe the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops, if they're worried about the humanitarian costs of immigration enforcement, let them talk about the children who have been sex trafficked because of the wide open border of Joe Biden.
You personally
let them talk
support them
about
going into
people like
schools
Laken
and
Riley
churches.
who were brutally murdered. I support us doing law enforcement against violent criminals, whether they're illegal immigrants or anybody else, in a way that keeps us safe. Let me ask this question,
But
Margaret. Let's separate the immigration issue. If you had a violent murderer in a school, of course I want law enforcement to go and get that person out.
Of course.
So what's the point of the question?
You changed the regulation this week. That's the point of the question.
Exactly.
Giving the
She really is, like, I really don't understand the opposition here on illegal immigration, because a poll I read said 87% of Americans support getting illegal immigrants out of the country. So why are the media and so many Democrat politicians and just Democrat celebrities too trying to push this idea that, like, these people are the backbone of America? The Mexican immigrants are the backbone of America. Like, what the fuck? Like, if they disappear, who's going to do the jobs? Let's see. Innovation happens when that happens, all right? We either find people to do the job or we create something to do the job for us.
authority
Yes.
to go into churches
Exactly.
and go into schools.
We empowered law enforcement to enforce
but
the
that
law
also
everywhere
has
to
a
protect
knock-on
Americans.
effect, a chilling effect, arguably, to people to not send their kids to school.
I desperately hope it has a chilling
in the
effect on
churches,
illegal
you think
immigrants
the
coming
U.S.
into our
Conference
country.
of Catholic Bishops are actively hiding criminals from
I think the U.S.
law
Conference
enforcement?
of Catholic Bishops has frankly not been a good partner in common sense immigration enforcement that the American people voted for. And I hope, again, as a devout Catholic, that they'll do better.
There are 5 legal challenges already to one of the other immigration actions, the order
Her
on
smile is so
birthright
fake and,
citizenship.
like,
A
ugh.
federal judge appointed by Ronald Reagan, I think you'd agree, has some
Think you'd
conservative
agree.
credentials.
What is wrong with this woman?
Paused the order to end birthright citizenship, calling it blatantly unconstitutional. How do you reconcile this challenge to the 14th Amendment to the Constitution?
So I obviously disagree with that judge, and these things, some of them will be litigated. That's the nature of our constitutional system. But here's the basic idea of President Trump's view on this. If you are a lawful permanent resident or a legal immigrant who plans to stay, your children, of course, should become American citizens. But let's say you're the child of an ambassador. You don't become...
But that's not part of it.
Well, that
There's
is
already a
that is
carve-out
that is
having
an
to do with
important
kids of
principle.
diplomats.
But we're saying that that carve-out should apply to anybody who doesn't plan to stay here. If you come here on vacation and you have a baby in an American hospital, that baby doesn't become an American citizen. If you're an illegal alien and you come here temporarily, hopefully, your child does not become an American citizen by virtue of just having been born on American soil. It's a very...
Basically, the way everybody else sees America is like home base. Like, if you can touch home base, you're safe. Sort of how people see their driveways when the police are chasing them. They're like, but I'm in my driveway, officer. Get on the ground, asshole.
It's a very basic principle in American immigration law that if you want to become an American citizen and you've done it the right way, and the American people in their collective wisdom have welcomed you into our national community, then you become a citizen. But temporary residents, people who come in here, whether legally or illegally, and don't plan to stay, their children shouldn't become American.
See, done it the right way is the correct thing to say, because so many people come to this country legally, spend, not that it's right, but you spend thousands of dollars to get their citizenship for them, their families, whoever else, comes to the country with them. And then you have these people that come here illegally, basically just spitting in the face of all those people before them that came here the right way, spending money and, wanting to be a part of the American culture, not just coming here to send money back to their families in Mexico or Guatemala, wherever the fuck they're from. No, they adopt American traditions and American way of life, and they proudly stand for that flag when it's raised. You know what I mean? Oh, man.
American citizens. I don't know any country that does that or why we would be different.
Well, this is a country founded by immigrants.
Well, this is a country
This is a
founded
unique
by
country.
This is a very unique country, and it was founded by some immigrants and some settlers. But just because we were founded by immigrants doesn't mean that 240 years later that we have to have the dumbest immigration policy in the world.
Bro, her face is like, it's a unique country. Okay, this country was founded on immigrants. Yes, yes, America was founded on immigrants. But if you allow immigrants to overrun your country, what's gonna happen to this country? You know? Why don't we ask the Native Americans what happened when Christopher Columbus supposedly showed up on their shores, or whatever fucking conquistador or explorer showed up? What happened? They got wiped out. New motherfuckers came in, took over their territory, and now they're what? They don't have their own nation anymore. I mean, now they're technically a part of the American nation, the United States. But do you think their ancestors wanted it like that? No. Fuck no. They wanted to roam this free with their horses and throwing tomahawks. I'm sorry, that's a little bit racist, but that's what they was doing, all right?
No country says that temporary visitors, their children, will be given complete access to the benefits
Facts,
and
right?
blessings
Another
of
one.
American
JD Vance,
citizenship.
always winning.
America should actually look out for the interests of our citizens first, and that means, again, if you're here permanently and lawfully, your kid becomes an American citizen. If you're not here permanently, if you're not subject to the jurisdiction of the United States and don't plan to be, why would we make those people's children American citizens permanently?
It's so true. JD Vance is winning on all sort of levels here. The interviewer is just insane. She's nuts, all right? Her the way she moves around, the movement she does, like, she's just a creeper. But he's 100% correct. There's not another nation, country, whatever the fuck you want to... You could even go even small. There's not even a group of people that accept you like that. But there's not another nation in this world like America, where you come here, you become a part of society in the United States. You adopt the American way of life, the American traditions, whatever it may be, and you're an American citizen. And then we call you such. You are now American. Now, if I move my black... Well, they don't even see it like that. They don't even see. I say my black ass, but if I move my ass to like Japan or China or somewhere, they're gonna just be like, "Oh, that's an American." Different culture, different setup. He's never gonna be Japanese. Never will I be Japanese. I could live there for 45 years, and they're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, that's that black American guy." And I know y'all are thinking the same thing as me. JD Vance 2028, baby. Let's go.